So hello and welcome everyone to this tutorial session. In this video we are going to learn about Python variables. So we start off this video by understanding what are variables in Python. Then we will discuss how we can declare and assign value to a variable. After this we will understand some of the variable naming rules. Then we will discuss how we can reassign the variable value. Next we will understand the implementation of multiple assessment in variables. And in the last we will understand how we can delete variables in Python. So without any further delay, let's jump on to our first topic and understand what are variables in Python. So in Python, variables are memory locations with dedicated name where a value is stored. However, we can change this stored value anytime when we want. So basically we can consider variables just like a container in Python where we can assign a name to this container, store some value in it, and even use this variable name to reference to it further in the program. So when we create a variable in Python, we reserve some memory and the Python interpreter automatically determines the data type based upon the value, and it also assigns memory accordingly. As a result, we can store integers, decimals or characters in variable that have different data type assigned to them. So now that we got an overview of variables, let's understand how we can declare it. So in Python, variables do not require any explicit declaration. A variable is declared automatically when we assign some value to it, and we can assign values to a variable just by using the equal to sign. So the name of a variable appears on the left side of the equal to operator, and the value stored in the variable appears on the right side of the operator. So here you can see an example. So product is the variable name and laptop is a string type data stored in this variable. So now let's look at the example related to variable in Python. So for the example execution, I will be using Jupyter Notebook. You can use any of the tools as per your choice. So let's look at the first example. So in the first example, we have declared three variables: name, age and gender. Now the name variable is of string type because Adam is a string value assigned to it. After this there is age, which is an integer variable because 32 is an integer value, and after age we have created gender, which is again string type variable because string value is assigned to it, that is male. And after declaring variables we are using the print function to print the value of these all variables that we declared. So let's execute this cell, and here you can see the output where all these three variables are printed out. So now let's move to our next topic. So next let's discuss about some of the variable naming rules. So if you remember our previous video on identifiers, so there are certain rules while naming an identifier in Python, and variable is just one of the type of identifiers in Python. So the rules that applies on the identifier will apply on variables as well. So while naming a variable, the name should either start with an alphabet. Now alphabet can be uppercase or lowercase, or we can start the name of a variable by using an underscore, but we cannot start the name of the variable using numbers. Now let's understand this first rule with the help of an example. So I'm back to my Jupyter notebook. Here in this cell, first we have declared one name variable and assigned John value to it. So here you can see the name variable, all the characters in the name of this variable are lowercase, and after declaring the variable we are using the print function to print out the value of this variable. Let's execute this cell. Here you can see we got the value and the execution was successful. Next we have declared another variable, but this time the name variable starts with an underscore. We assign Adam value to it, which is of string data type, and we are printing out the value of this variable using the print function. Let's execute this cell, and you can see the execution was successful and we got our result. Now in the next example, we have put an integer value in the starting of the name of the variable, and we have assigned Tommy value to it. Now if we try to run this example, you can see got this error stating syntax error, invalid decimal literal. So in Python we cannot name our variable starting with any integer value. We can either use alphabets or we can use underscores. So next, as we know, Python is a case sensitive language, so Python stores uppercase and lowercase characters in a different memory locations. So it will treat variable names with uppercase and variable name with lowercase characters separately. So for example, variable name with capital N and variable with lowercase n are two separate variables. So let's understand this thing with the help of an example. So in this example, we have declared one variable name with capital N and assigned value Paul to it. Then we are using the print function to print the value of this name variable. So here you can see we got the result. Next, again, what we are doing, we are printing out the value of a variable, but this time we have put n as lowercase. But now when I execute this function, you can see it will return an error stating name error. The name is not defined because Python is case sensitive and we haven't declared name variable till now. So the Python interpreter is unable to find this name variable. That's why this error has been occurred. Now let's look at the next rule. So in Python we cannot use special characters while naming the variable. So characters like exclamation mark, at the rate, or dollar sign, we cannot use them. We can only use the underscore special character while naming the variable. So here in this example we have put dollar sign while naming our the name variable, and we have assigned some value to it. Now if we try to print this value, you can see the interpreter has returned an error stating syntax error, invalid syntax. So now let's move to our next topic and discuss how we can reassign variable value. So in Python, regardless of the current value of the variable, it can be reassigned to any acceptable value. We can reassign variable to new value of the same as well as of different data type from the current value. Let's understand this implementation using an example in Python. So here you can see an example where first we declare the age variable and assign 25 value to it. Then we are printing out this age variable, and after this again we are using the age variable, but this time we are assigning a string value to it, and then we are again printing it out using the print function. So if I execute this cell, you can see first the value of age variable was 25 as an integer value, and after reassignment the value of age variable becomes 25, but this is the string value. So after reassignment, let's discuss the implementation of multiple assessment in variables. So in Python we can assign same value to multiple variables at the same time in Python. So we just need to write a single line of code, and with that single line of code we will be able to assign a single value to multiple variables. So here is an example where we declare x, y and z variable, and we are using equal to sign within these variables, and in the last we assign 37 value to them. Now if we try to print the value of each variable, we can observe that 37 value will be assigned to all of these variables. Let's execute the cell, and here we got the desired output. Now just like assigning same value to multiple variables, Python also allows us to declare multiple variables with different values in a same line of code. So here we can see an example where we declare age, name and gender variable, but this time we put comma in between them, and after the equal to operator we are assigning three different values to them. So the John value will be assigned to the name variable, 24 value will be assigned to age, and male value will be assigned to the gender. Now if we try to print out this value using the print function, we can easily see that these values were assigned to the specific variables. Now in the last, let's discuss how we can delete a variable in Python. So as discussed earlier, when we declare a variable in Python, the Python interpreter assigns certain memory based upon the data type of the variable. So it is important to delete a variable when it is not required in a program, because it will clear the memory space held by that variable. Now to delete a variable in Python, we utilize the del keyword. The del keyword in Python helps to delete objects in Python including variables. So let's understand how we can use the del keyword to delete a variable in Python. So here you can see an example. First we declare the name variable and assign Paul value to it. So basically name here is a string type variable. After this we are fetching the value of this name variable using the print function. Let's execute this. So here we can see name is Paul. After using the variable, in the next cell we are using the del keyword, and with the del keyword we specified the variable name. So when we execute this statement, the name variable will be deleted, and after this we are trying to assess the value of the name variable using the print function. So let's execute this cell. So here you can see the Python interpreter has returned an error stating name is not defined. So Python interpreter has returned this error because after deletion the interpreter will not be able to find the name variable in the memory. So with this we have come to the end of this tutorial session. In the next one we will discuss about different data types in Python. So thank you for watching. We will see you in the next one.